Hello again, it's Garson, and today we're talking about Death Knights and the Death Domain, and I think the best way to run a Death Knight is just pure Cleric, and you're going to see why in a quick example. So, we have the Virgin Vampire Lord Cazador, and he's going to go up against Halsin. He's our Chad Death Knight, Death Domain Cleric, alright? So, let's see what we can do against Cazador. Cazador has huge resistance against necrotic and a lot of damage types, especially when he turns into a potent fart like this. Whoop. Okay, so we can't hold person or hold monster. What we could do is blind them. So we're going to toss out a blind with mini. Blind's going to make it easier to land that great Weapon Master strike, so we can go all in on this guy. And I'm going to use Terrazol. So check this out. Touch of Death is our freaking smite. We have Necrotic Strike from Cleric level 8. Alright, this guy resists just about everything, including necrotic damage. But watch how much I can do with 3 actions thanks to Terrazol and Haste. Ready? Here we go. Wha-bam! A little smite there. Yeah, alright, another Touch of Death. Boom! And one more for a good measure. Wha-bam! And just a bonk just for being petty. Here we go. Donk. Alright, and how much damage did we do against this necrotic resistance nerd? Oh my goodness! Half of his HP. That's wild, and that's why I think you're gonna love Death Domain. So, let's hop into it real quick. Ready? Alright, we're back at the front gate here, and today, of course, we're talking about the ultimate Death Knight that is the new Death Domain, okay? So as you can see in the top left, keep a watch on that, which was not patch 8. I'm chomping at the bit because I really want to play patch 8, so I'm tired of waiting to talk about it. So it's already out, we're seeing new stuff, we're confirming new things, but I still don't have the patch yet, so thank you for waiting with me, and thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel, though, wait till the end. I'm going to show you how to make the ultimate Death Knight, but I'm going to explain why I think level 12 Death Domain is the way to go, and why it might be the strongest subclass coming up, okay? So let's talk about some Necrotic SMITES. First off, let's talk about Death Domain, okay? So Death Domain, so you know, is a new subclass. Like I said, this is not the actual patch 8. Thanks to modders, we can kind of take the tabletop rules. Larian did an even better job than what you'll see here, okay? Because now we can explode corpses, and I can't wait to make a video on that freaking cantrip. Alright, but also, this is patch 8, right? We get a new subclass for our clerics. It's insane. Do you know why? Because you are a full caster who is amazing at melee damage, weapon damage, spell damage, and you're basically an anti-paladin, okay? You don't have to worry about that oath crap. You don't have to multi-class or anything like this. I've shown you against a guy who resists necrotic damage. You have like 3 different smites, okay? 2 main ones, and I've always loved inflict wounds, and this is another great build that incorporates that. To me, it's just basically the strongest spell in the game, or basically a really strong smite, but I'll show you how to maximize it with this, okay? So ignore resistance is huge, because at level 6 of your cleric, you're going to get the ability, as you can see here, a bunch of times, dungeon instances, we flat out ignore resistances. So you want to do my idea, or you want to multi-class, go to level 6, you can now ignore if you're going to heavily use some necrotic spells or damage, okay? Then you have the spell choices. So Cleric is insane for spell choices, but this will be one of the few times where there's a better build for going Spirit Guardians Necrotic rather than Radiant. You get awesome things like these Necromancy spells we'll talk about, but also just the good stuff like Freedom of Movement is one of the best reasons to go into Cleric later, like late Cleric. There's just really good stuff like Sanctuary, keeping yourself alive, you get Hold Person, and you're a level 6 caster, so Necromancy is a big part of this too. But let's dive into some of the best stuff here, okay? The stats, okay? Really good stat distribution. You really only have to focus on strength and wisdom, okay? There's plenty of ways to build this. I could give you more examples, but this is I think this is my favorite. But also Constitution a little bit for concentration and some HP. Still kind of on the light side, but hell, we can do False Life, we can do Aid, which can help everybody, including our minions. It's crazy. Okay, so let's talk about the smiting though, because I played Shadowheart here in a recent run, and I mixed Cleric with Paladin, and I was trying to get level 6 spell slots to Necrotic, or rather Divine Strike Radiant with Divine Smites, and it was fun, but man, I really wish I was just like Paladin, or I was just Cleric. I was just all over the place. This is going to give me what I wanted with that build, all right? That was a cool build, but this is everything I wanted with that build, okay? And it's going to ignore resistance, and it's not radiant, and I can feel like a Death Knight, which I love Death Knights. I don't know if you play Warcraft and all that. So, Necrotic Strike, if you don't play Clerics, if you go deep enough at level 8, you get this cool Divine Strike. It's similar to Smites because they pop off on reaction if you want to, and they don't cost a reaction point. So you can get an opportunity attack and still reaction use this, okay? You can also manually drive it, and just like Smite, it depends on what subclass you take, but it's usually elementally related to like that subclass. So this is going to be Necrotic, which of course helps out your level 6, okay? So you can only do this once per round though, but at least it doesn't give you, doesn't waste any resources like spell slots or channel divinity. Okay, and it's a manual option if you want, which I highly recommend. You can definitely hit with this and then go into something else, some other reaction, or just have it set to reaction because it's no cost. And so if you hit with a regular attack, you can also Divine Strike Necrotic, just like a Paladin Smite, right? So it's similar to Smite. It has even the same damage, but it's obviously a different element, but it doesn't use spell slots, which is really important because if we set it to reaction, okay, we can use our next real Smite. This is our channel divinity to the subclass, and if you don't understand channel divinity, when you go into your subclass of Cleric at level 1, you get level 2, you'll get your channel divinity charges, and you'll get even 2 charges that come back on short rest. This is so important because unlike Paladin Smites that use spell slots, right, we can use this instead. This will be a short rest resource, and if we go far enough into Cleric, we actually get 2 on short rest. That's 6 Touch of Death. This is your first real big smite. You saw how devastating it was, and so I'm going to kind of demonstrate this stuff real quick. So, like I said, we can have Divine Strike on reaction. You look how freaking monstrous this is, okay? We're going to get some oil, and now I'm going to strike this guy, and if this doesn't land, we don't, just like a smite, we don't waste the resource, okay? Whoop-bam! Alright, that's not it. Hold on. And then we get the little extra damage. What's that? And if we take some Terrazol, we can go at it again and hit this guy one more time for massive damage. And then we can keep going. And we reach over there with Bone Chill, get that guy, and so on and so forth, right? Now, let's go ahead and end the combat real quick. Let's see. I'll get Gale over here. Let's see what he's got. Just going to use Scorching Ray and annihilate this guy. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. And then we'll use some Speedy Magic. And we'll just eliminate you so we can end the freaking turn. Okay. Come on. Warp over here. Okay. And now we're going to use some quick magic, like I said. Okay. Did all that, murdered all those people just to show you, very important detail here. So, this comes back, these channel charges come back on short rest. So now I'm back up to 3. The only reason I have 3, just so you know, is this Devout Amulet, which I'd highly recommend. But the only ones that come back on short rest is just the original 2 from the class, okay? So this is out of control. It's a melee attack, so it's going to use your weapon damage. It's a fixed amount. What it is 5 flat necrotic damage plus 2 times your Cleric level. So you really want to just keep going into Cleric, okay? It's wild. You get 29 damage at level 12, and it doesn't matter on crits. You just do that, okay? It doesn't benefit from crits really unless you have the weapon damage and whatnot. So this is really better. Don't worry about crits here. Just land the strike, and you don't waste anything if you don't land it. So, and you get the resource back on short rest, which means you can use your spell slots for a bevy of stuff. Okay, so what about inflict wounds, aka smite number 2? Smite number 2. Let's roll back the dice here. I'm going to talk about it. So holy bug, this move is insane. I love this spell. I love when people ask me in the comments, like recently, dude, what about inflict wounds? I think it's so good. Yes, it is so good. Here's why. At level 1 spell slot is a 3d10, right? And it's an attack roll, which means it can crit. So this is actually 6d10. If you can use it on, say, hold person, it's going to guarantee the hit and guarantee the crit. And it can upcast to a massive 8d10, okay? So look at this. 8d10 at your level 6 spell slot. Paladins are only half casters. They can't bring it all the way up to this. Not even Oathbreaker can say this, right? So you can have a level 6 8d10 ignoring resistance, okay? Stronger than any smite you can tell me, right? Because when you crit, this does 16d10. Ah! It's insane. It's insane. Okay, so we have Minthara here. I'm going to show you the devastating power inflict wounds, right? I'm going to hold person. I'm going to hold person. So if you have an awesome buddy like Minthara here, you can walk up to people and you can just delete them, all right? So, inflict wounds, let's just have at it. There's no weapon damage here. It is a melee spell. You do have to know how to land it or have a combo like hold person. Now watch this health bar. Goodbye. Oof. Goodbye. Deleted. Deleted. Let's do it again. Maybe. Let's go speed potion. Just gonna casually walk up here and then we'll do another level 5 now. So level 5 is a 7d10. So that's 140 at max, right? Boom, you're dead. So just a straight half 70. That's crazy. Okay, so you can delete people. This is your smite. As long as you have the right team combo, you can do insane damage. Okay, so you don't have to use your spell slots when you want to smite with your weapon, but when you use your spell slots, it's amazingly effective if you can set it up right to use inflict wounds, and nothing can resist it unless they're immune to necrotic damage, right? Just straight necrotic damage. Now, similar to that, there's the Vampiric touch I'm going to show you. You can do the same thing. It's probably best if you have high spell save DC and you can get crits. So this is in Vampiric touch. So this is like Warcraft's Death Coil, but it's a melee spell as well, right? It has to be an attack roll. You have to concentrate on this, and that may seem lame, but let somebody else haste you or use a speed potion, because as many actions as you have, thanks to this concentration, you can keep using this, okay? So check this out, all right? Let's go ahead and have another hold person with Minthara. We'll get this on you and you again. Whoa. Alright, I'm not going to upcast it too high, but just keep in mind, just like inflict wounds, it's a little weaker, 3d6. It can go all the way up to 6d6, but let's say we use a level 4 spell slot, we make it 4d6, and when we land a crit, remember it's going to double, because it's an attack roll, and you have to use melee anyway, but it heals on hit. So I got 15 HP from that 30 damage, right? And as many times as I have actions, I can use it. So with Terrazol and Haste, I can get 3 actions. As long as I'm concentrating on it, I can keep using it for 10 turns every action. Look at that. Buzz. So you're getting a lot of healing off of that. It's a really cool move. And if you don't want to use like inflict wounds, or you're trying to get some health recovery while doing damage, honestly, you could center the build around this. It's really cool. I've tried it on a warlock, but here we get the benefit of no resistances once again. So awesome use of your spell slots if you want to get some healing while dishing out some damage too, okay? We'll load that back up. So you can just keep hitting as long as you have actions. So that's pretty slick. All right. Then we move on to the Necromancy. I'm going to show you build time in just a moment. But I just want to make a reference here. I did a whole series on Necromancy. I even covered all these subclasses when they were announced. We use mods to kind of demonstrate them. What I learned from the Necromancy series is this is going to be, this domain, especially at level 12, is going to be the best Necromancer for a few reasons. Ready? You need these higher spell slots like 6 so that you can make a pack of ghouls, 3 of them. Okay, so as long as you have dead bodies, you can make these badasses. And these badasses can fly around, and you have the hold person spell, or you can blind people to make your minions. Trust me, when I say blindness, it's great that we get this as a Necromancy spell on our Cleric or our team. Hold person is really going to make it easier for these ghouls and your mummy to strike. So we get 3 ghouls, okay? And very rarely does a Necromancer have the ability to use Create Undead. Create Undead will allow you to create a mummy, and it does not conflict with the spell to have the ghouls. So you can have up to 4 powerful minions, and you can use powerful effects like Aid to give them more HP, including yourself, right? And you can give them things like, you can buff them with freedom of movement, or you can, you know, calm emotions so they don't freak out. You can sank them, like, just to protect them. You don't want to waste the resource on that, right? So you can do all this powerful stuff. There's so much more I could talk about why this is awesome, but I really just want to focus on the smiting. I just figured I'd toss that out there. Like, you can run around like the Lich King with your small private Death Knight army of the undead. It's crazy. And you can buff them like no other Necromancer can. And you have powerful spells like Cloud Kill, right? So you can concentrate on a deadly cloud while these guys are immune to it. It's crazy. Oh my god. Okay, so these guys are all immune, so you could put them, they could attack your enemies while you put like a death cloud down. So dude, it's like death and decay right there. It's crazy. All right, build time. What can this paladin do? I think you've seen what this paladin can do. We'll just go all out with this guy, but let me explain the build for you so you can build it yourself in patch 8. All right, this is the Death Knight build. I don't care what anyone says. You have everything you would ever want in Death Knight, even more than I've gone over here. Like Insect Plague and Blade Barrier is wild. Okay, so 16 strength. There's a lot of ways to handle the stats here, but like I said, what you really need to focus on is these 3 stats. And the way I've accomplished it is 16 strength at starting, 16 whiz at starting, and 14 constitution. For obvious reasons, we are a melee weapon caster. It's awesome. Cool thing about Cleric is we start with medium armor proficiency, which means our first feat can actually be heavily armored. And if we start with, oh, my bad. Let me actually correct this. This is 17 strength because heavy armored not only gives us the upgrade to heavy armor, so we use this awesome Cleric armor. You know you want to use it, all right? But it gives us 1 strength, so we actually go up to 18. And then there's actually a potion for everlasting vigor. It's a permanent upgrade for 2 more strength, so you can actually easily get to 20 strength just like at the beginning of Act 2, all right? You need a little HP, so you definitely want constitution, okay? And you definitely want wisdom to land some of your spells later on when you're more of a spellcaster. But like I said, you don't need that much wisdom if you're just going for more than necromancy, or if you have these hold person on an ally, you don't need to know how to land your spells. You just hit them with your weapon and inflict wounds on anybody who's got hold person to crit them like crazy damage, right? Okay, so the feats, like I said, heavy armored because you thankfully start as a cleric with medium armor. You can take your first feat and get 2 bangs for your buck. You get heavy armor, so you can have Kethric's armor, right? And you get that 18 strength, so now you're actually upgrading with your first feat, okay? I highly recommend Alert on strength builds when you're not investing in dexterity. It gives you 5 initiative, and you can't be surprised, so I would take that. And I know you want to use a two-hander, especially the Sword of Chaos, and you want to do Great Weapon Master. So I took that as the final feat, so you can feel even more powerful when you're smiting with the touch of death, okay? All right, so the gear, you gotta have the Cleric armor. All right, heavy armor. Nice thing about this is reduced damage. You can set it so you can't be pushed around and whatnot. And the cool thing is, basically, yeah, the visuals. I just want the visuals. I've even got a cool color scheme. You gotta have the Chaos Sword or Baldurin Sword or whatever. Just pick a really cool two-hander and go at it, right? You gotta use the Justiciar Gloves. We need more necrotic damage. It can't be negated anymore, right? So we don't have resistance, so the more we can stack this, especially for Touch of Death, we can do some serious damage, okay? Bloodlust. For the Elixir, I think you want another action, because clerics do not get the ability to use extra attack, especially this subclass. So you can go Bloodlust or you can go Battle Mage, depending if you want higher spell save or another action on kill. Especially in honor mode, this is more important choice here. Crusher Ring, because you gotta crush with 10 more feet. You really want to be able to reach your opponents, so use that Crusher Ring. But this is a bit of a flex slot in both of these. Just customize your paladin based on the situation, right? I used the Eversight Ring in that fight against Cazador earlier. The Devout Amulet gives you a whole nother smite for long rest, okay? So in Act 3, this is going to raise your spellcasting ability, right? But it's also going to give you another bang for your buck. You get another channel divinity charge just on long rest, though, so it doesn't come back on short rest like the rest. Momentum boots, so you can use this when you're concentrating on like Spirit Guardians or something, and you can't be pushed around or whatever. Oh wait, there's what boots is that? Oh man, forget the boots for a second. Just use Helldusk. Helldusk are cool. They fit the theme, whatnot. I don't know why I had the wrong boots there. My bad. But Hellrider Bow is a decent choice because again, you get 3 initiative, and you already have a good range attack with Reaper's Touch or Toll the Dead or whatever they give you for a cantrip in the actual release. And this is 3 more initiative, so we're up to 8, which I really love. Okay, so consider these other variations to just this build. Not too hard to think about. Like I said, Battle Mage Elixir is really strong because if we take this instead of Bloodlust, we're up to a nice 20 spell save DC, and our Bone Chill or cantrips can usually hit with that plus 10 spell attack. The Dead Shot is nice if you want to actually get some more crit fishing for crits. This lowers the crit range, as well as Saravok's awesome skull helmet, which you're definitely wearing. You gotta. So this would bring it down to we have to hit 18 or higher on crits to crit, right? Or hits to crit. Spell hat DC, any hat that has like spell save DC, once again, raising that potential to land inflict wounds without hold person, you might want to opt for that. Maybe you want to hit them with blight, stuff like that. So something to think about. But yeah, Circlet of Bones. If you want to be more of a necromancer, take the Circlet of Bones. This is going to give all your ghoul friends a little bit of resistance, as you can see here. They now resist stuff because we have the circlet on us, okay? If you want to be more necromancer, go with that. And just consider team comp. So an enchanter here can actually very efficiently throw out a hold person for a level 2 spell and hit 2 targets and really have a fun time with all those smite attacks, okay? So, how do you play and level up these builds? Well, that's what we're here to do. Let's just have some fun before we go. Like I said, we would probably just get Mini to hold people down, laugh at them at their expense. We can have all the ghoul friends fly in. We can touch of death. We can inflict wounds. Let's do some of that. There we go. Inflict wounds. Boom. Yeah. Now strike them down. Okay. And now let's use some touch of death. Oh, did you not like that? Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Come on over. Let's have some fun. Death Knight time. You ain't heard my ghouls. They got resistance. Yeah. Oh, where you going? Slap them. Oh, volley. Oh, volley. Alright, so where's that mage? I bet she's going to try and counterspell us, so let's try and hit her. Where are you at? Right here? Alright, counterspell this, right? Counterspell. Let's go for it. There it is. Little backlash. Joke's on you. I'm going to take a speed potion. So with the right ally, you can have speed potion. Alright, you get hold person on you, hold person on you. Boom. Halcyon can have some fun with some haste potions, some Terrazol, and again, he's really flexible. You don't always have to smite. You are a cleric. This is the one build where Necrotic Spirit Guardians is devastating as hell, right? You do that. You can drop this down, and boom! Alright, and run over to there. Meanwhile, all the ghouls can chase that guy down. Just have tons of fun, right? Doo-doo-doo. Come on, robot. Oh, you can't move. Oh, smite. And then we can get that necrotic strike in. Oh, yeah. I love it. That's right. Oh, you're being held down? Oh, that's a pity. Because now all my ghouls can definitely hit you and crit you. There we go. Let's get the mummy over here. Get the multi-attack in. Or just a bop. Get a bop. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So you have powerful minions. You feel like a Lich King. These guys can fly in. They can pester your pesky ranged guys. Fly over here. Woo! And then we have the undead ward. And I think they can even go for what? Like a paralyze? Oh no. They can naturally paralyze if they can land the hit. So that's cool. Oh yeah? Oh no. Better him than us too, so we mitigate damage by having the minions around us. They can attack them. And you can hit me. I love Enchantress. It's crazy. Alright, I need one more smite. Help me out, Mini. Oof. Oh. Where are you at? Run over to this guy. Pester him with our ghouls. Okay. Nice try. Nice try. Blah. Come on. Where you at? Volley. Boom. Alright. So again, if you have the right kind of teammate, what you can do is use maybe hold monster. Oh, I don't have it. Damn. Alright. Whatever. We can hold person on you. And this. Get double the fun. Alright. And one more big smite. Whoa, bam! And let's go for that level 6. Come on. Come on, I can reach him. I can reach him. Let's get him. Out of my way, said Halcyon. You go level 6. Goodbye. Boom! 93 damage. And then if you want, you can like throw out a fart cloud or something like that. You can blind targets. Let me try to blind that guy. Yeah. Oh well. But yep. Now we have bonus action. Great Weapon Master. Go for another strike. You do tons and tons of damage, tons of versatility with the necromancy and the spells and everything. So that is going to do it. That's our ultimate Death Knight. And when you ask, how do you level up and play this? We're going to see this when I get my hands on patch 8. I play on honor mode just to show you you could build anything and you do awesome, and you play in honor mode. And if you beat it with honor mode, it feels that much more impactful. So I also like to play crazy broken stuff like this too. So come watch it on live stream. I'm excited for patch 8. Right now we're doing a War Master run. So I'll see you in there. I love answering comments and questions. If you have anything, you want to see more details about the build or whatnot, or got some requests, let me know because you're my sponsor. Thank you for watching. I got member support as low as it's going to get on YouTube. So thank you if you want to support the channel. That's one way. But the best way is always have fun with the videos. Get out there, play honor mode yourself, and let me know if you won. All right? You guys have an awesome one. Go have some with some Necrotic SMITES.